little bit. So
Okay.
sickle cell disease is a red blood cell disorder. It is
Mm-hmm.
also inherited. You get it from parents. For instance, back in the days, right? Back in the days, parents that didn't really, back in the days, there's no technology, right? So parents tend to like fall in love. They marry each other based on love without going to go check their blood test, trying to know what's going on with them and stuff like that. So an AS patient, a mom that is an AS, comes up falling in love with a man that is an AS. Eventually, when two partners meet without knowing what's going on, they will end up having a child that has sickle cell. That is because they both have the trait. The trait means you have AS, an AS, and AS. When AS meets an AS, they will come out with a child with SS.
SS. Okay.
So when that child comes out with SS, there's a lot of complication with people with sickle cell. For instance, there's you have to be in the hospital a lot. You have
Mm-hmm.
to take a lot of water, transfusion. People with sickle cell tends to, it's kind of like a form of disability. Let's put it that way. Because when what a normal person can do, you get so weak, you're not able to
Mm-hmm.
do it. But family members, they see you as a burden. Exactly
As someone who is lazy,
what
someone who is lazy, someone who is
someone who
lazy.
is lazy, thank you,
Mm-hmm.
someone who is lazy, not knowing that what you have is actually the reason why you down, you actually behaving the way you behaving. It's not like you don't want to have a job, you don't want to go out there and do what your mates are doing, but your body, when your body is down, your mental health is down.
He's
You
down.
cannot
Yeah.
function without being stable. You
Mm-hmm.
understand? So people that have sickle cell, they go through a lot of stuff. There's something called crisis. Crisis is a form of pain. It comes in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
Crisis is a form of pain. Some people have joint pain. Some people have lower back pain. Some people have different types of pain. You just keep having this ache on your body. And
Mm-hmm.
the reason why you having those joint pain is because when it comes to your blood, a normal blood cell is this way, it's round. But people
Mm-hmm.
with sickle cell, their blood is half, like half crest, meaning half of a round shape of blood. That is what
Mm-hmm.
their blood is like. So the reason people with sickle cell have crisis is because blood is not flowing normally. That's why they said you have to dehydrate yourself a lot. Like you have to take a lot of water. You have to drink a lot of water, a lot of fluid, a lot of fluid. People with sickle cell, you tend to see people with sickle cell back home with a big forehead, with a joint like a yellow eyes. Their eye bulbs are so yellowish. The reason why they have those things is because, is it jaundice they call it or something? I don't know. Back when I was in Nigeria, they said people with sickle cell cannot live more than 21 years old. That's what I
But
was
that's
told. But
but
that's a
that's not true.
lie because
That's not
when you
true.
take care
Yeah.
of yourself, someone with sickle cell, when you really take care of yourself, you can live more than 65 years. You can live more than
Wow.
whatever. You can live more than whatever. What you have to do as somebody that has sickle cell is take your medication. Your medication is your life. Okay, your medication is your life, and you need support system. There's something called support system. People around you have to understand what's going on with you. They have to know that this girl, she has this thing. When, like for instance, when you if you're a college student, you have to let them know in your school. You come with a doctor's note and let them know you have so 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 and so. And then with that,
Mm-hmm.
your doctor's note explains to your teachers to let them know what's going on with you. And then when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to exam time, they kind of like give you break. They give you breaks on, let's say for instance, they give student 45 minutes to take their exam. They give you more time to take your exam because they understand what's going on with you. Sometimes you may miss classes. Somebody can write your notes. You can get notes from someone. As long as you let them know what's going on. And sometimes there are some schools that provides office. It's called Students with Disability. I'm talking about this based on experience, based on what I hear, but based on what
Yeah.
I know that is going on in the States. So there's an office that is called Office for Students with Disability. So sickle cell is kind of like a form of disability in the States. So they look at you as someone that has disability. Disability does not mean you are disabled. There are different forms of
Yeah.
disability. Being disabled
Mm-hmm.
does not mean you are physically disabled. Like there are different types, like disability. You see people that are wheeled in a wheelchair. You see people that have down, what is it called, Down syndrome,
Down syndrome. Yeah.
autism. Those type of things are forms of disability, right? So with people with sickle cell, as long as you provide a doctor's note to this office called Office for People with
Disability.
Disability,
Disabilities. Yeah.
they will look into your case and then they'll welcome you and then they will help you. So the only thing you have to do is when it comes to an exam time, they give you a form. You always have to fill out a form and let them know that um let them know if you're capable, you're able to take this exam, if you're ready to take this exam. If you're not feeling well to take this exam, they will give you time to take your exam. They don't rush you. And then your professors know what's going on with you. They know that, okay, you have a form of disability, and then they give you time to take your exam. So another thing that I want to emphasize on is when it comes to getting married, for instance. A lot of people come in and say stuff like, oh, I'm in love with you, I'm in love with you, I'm in love with you. Guys, don't let these people fool you. Any man that is in love with you, that comes up to you when you tell them you have this illness, you have SS in quotes, and then they tell you, oh, it's cool,
Oh,
I'm
it's
an
it's
AA,
cool.
I'm an AA man, my sister, follow that person, go hospital.
Go
Take
confirm.
a test, confirm that this man is actually an AA patient. He's a full grown AA. Don't let a man come to you and tell you with his mouth, oh, my mom said I'm an AA when I was younger. This is what my mom told me. Don't let these people fool you, okay? Because at the long run, your kids are the ones that are going to suffer all this, including yourself. You have sickle cell. You are going through a lot of stuff. When you have a baby, even for you to push out that baby, you're losing blood. Okay? You'll be losing blood. They'll be putting in blood in order for you to push. Because people with sickle cell tend to have problem having a baby. So
When
there's kind of
delivering.
like form of complication sometimes. So you pushing out, blood is replacing just for you to bring out that innocent baby to the world. So in order to prevent all these things, it's better for two partners to go to the hospital and just clear themselves. Make sure they know what they are with their genotype.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you guys should stop fooling females. You're not gonna come up and say I'm an AA. My mom told me when I was younger that I'm an AA, and then down the line the lady gets married to you, and you guys start having babies, and then boom, you have a child with sickle cell, and then that child with sickle cell will start getting sick. But a man that marries a woman, a man that is a full grown, a man that is an AA can end up with somebody that has a full grown sickle cell, which is SS.
Mm-hmm.
AS is AS is what they call it. trait. When you have sickles, when you have an AS people tend to not get sick the way people with the full-grown sickle cell get
So,
sick. So with an AS person can visit the hospital maybe once in a blue moon. But somebody with sickle cell, full-grown sickle cell, which is SS, ends
mm-hmm.
up in the hospital often. So those are the two differences. So ladies, your aim as somebody with a full-grown sickle cell is to aim for a man that is AA. AA, love, listen. You guys should not care about love. I'm in love with this person. What you should push for is a man with AA. Because some people say, oh, I fell in love. Yeah, love is blind. I understand the fact that love is
Mm-hmm.
blind, but at the same time,
My dear,
we have to protect.
for this one, love, my eyes are open. I'm in love, but my eyes are open. In fact, before I will tell you I love you, the next thing I'm going to ask you is what's your genotype, what's your blood group. I need to ask, and
Okay, so
before I'll put a ring in that finger, hell freaking no, man. I'm going to find out.
take the person to the hospital and do
100.
the test, do the needful. So what I'm trying
Mm,
to say is, in order to prevent all these things from happening, is you and your partner should go to the hospital. And a man that loves you, that is AA in quotes, that is an AA man, would definitely understand what's wrong with you. That's why I said in the beginning, Google is your best friend, even though you don't have to be in the medical field to know what's sickle cell. If you
yeah.
don't know what sickle cell, you could Google it. You could Google it and find out. You understand? So in order to prevent all these things is basically take your partner to the hospital and get tested and know what your genotypes are. And another thing is people that have sickle cell, you have to take really good care of yourself. For instance, if you're in the States, winter time is not a joke out here. You have to, you see, if somebody people are wearing just one jacket, you have to have 3 layers. You should like double sweaters with 2 jackets with you, because the cold season is really bad for people with sickle cell. So that's why sometimes you see people, they kind of like get cold easily. People that are anemic, sometimes you can even be outside in the cold, you are freezing, you cold. That's because of what you have. It's not like you're just trying to you just try to tell people that, listen, turn off that AC. I don't want AC. Sometimes it's just because of your body, the way your body is feeling. So that's why you have to let people know. Sometimes it's not really everybody you tell your business, but when you
Yeah.
with somebody that likes to blast their AC, you just have to take an excuse from them. Just ask them, like, okay, you kind of like lower it down or something. But if it's your partner that knows what's wrong with you, definitely they will know that you're not supposed to be in the AC. Even fan can trigger crisis. When you sleep with the fan can trigger crisis, and the next thing you start having joint pain, lower back pain, you start having all these pains. And another thing I'm going to say is learn to manage your pain. Some people feel like whenever you have crisis, the best thing is to run to the hospital. No, learn to manage your pain, meaning if you're the type of person that you know that you having joint pain, and immediately you take your medication, you take your pain medication, you will be fine. Don't end up in the hospital. Don't run to the hospital and stay in the emergency room for 100 hours, because you guys know how the emergency ER is. The emergency room takes forever before they see you. Do not do that. What you do is watch yourself. If you're the type of person that you can manage your pain, take your pain medication, sleep for a little bit, and monitor yourself. If you feel like this thing is more than what, when you take your ibuprofen, for instance, your morphine, people take morphine for pain, crisis pain, ibuprofen, things like that for crisis pain. If you take stuff like that, after you take it, give yourself a break, sleep, try to sleep. When you go to sleep and wake up, you see that pain goes away. Okay, that's why you have to watch yourself, monitor yourself. Not every 5 minutes, every little thing about crisis, you guys are running to the hospital. You guys are running to hospital because right now, I hear from somebody that has the same thing, that they call them. These people are just coming here for. They call an addict. They call them like
Mm-mm.
an addict. Like they just come. They like pill poppers, or like they just come there for pills, just to pop pills or something. Like they just come there in there just to get pills, just for them, that they just come in there to get their medication or whatever. They are addicted to medication, so they end up in the hospital just to come get medication, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the reason why I get to know about these things is because I did biology. I took biology in school. You're gonna learn a little bit stuff about different types of health issue. You're gonna learn stuff about this and that and that and that. Autism, Down syndrome, a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff out there. So you're gonna learn
Okay.
stuff. You're gonna learn about stuff like that. So um, the reason why I decided to join this platform to talk about it is because I have a little idea. I know what it's all about. So
Okay.
I hope I'm able to encourage people and let them know that, listen, before you get to that point that this man is about to take you to the altar, even in the relationship, not even altar, even in the relationship, you want to know what's this person's, just to prevent a lot of stuff.
Okay.
You
Photographer,
have to
please
know your
join
partner's
us.
genotype.
Yeah, photographer, join us. You can actually switch off your camera and let's you can actually switch off your camera and air your view. Good evening, everyone. And today what we're talking about is the importance of genotype before marriage. The importance of genotype before marriage, and how do you avoid sickle cell anemia? Okay, like our sister said, sickle cell anemia, it's a red blood cell disease. So it, and when you have an issue with your red blood cells, you know what it means. So it's very very important. And I'll ask her just a few questions before she go. I'll ask her a few questions. See, is there any please, first of all, if you know someone, or you have someone that is sickle cell that suffers from this, you can actually direct us to the person so that we hear from her and get her advice, he or her advice to the public, so that they can actually avoid this. It's very very important, and most times people don't even think about all this, and they'll tell you love conquers all, love is blind, love is this and love is that, and they'll end up having a child that is sickle cell. And when they give birth to the child starts suffering, the child starts feeling the whole pain, and no one else ever cares. You get? So,
True.
like what I pin down here, it says it's your guide to bring healthy and strong kids. Compatibility matter. We know compatibility matters regardless of what level of love. Yeah. But it's very, 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 very important that you actually check those things. It matters a lot, but bro, do not, I repeat, do not fall for it. Do not fall for it. They can tell you I love you, I want to be with you, you're my soulmate, you're this, you're that. Please do not, I repeat, do not fall for it. So it's very important. So, sis, I want to ask you a few questions, please. Am I allowed?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. What I want to ask you is there any other means, for instance, maybe someone that has sickle cell, in their cell membrane. Is there any way they can change their blood regularly to help them, that like to sustain them? Is it possible?
Um.
When you transfuse blood that is of AA inside their body system. So is there
Okay.
any way such a thing can work? Does it work that way?
Okay. I was told that I don't think whatever you were born with is what you carry. You
Mm-hmm.
understand? But when it comes to the states, here in the states, sometimes they could try to transfuse, like, there's a form of, how am I going to explain it? There's a way they try to do something about taking taking your blood out, like
Mm-hmm.
putting in a new blood and trying to take out the ones that you have. But those things are kind of like expensive. And at the same
Mm-hmm.
time, what if they kind of like doing all that stuff, taking the your sickling bloods out and to replace you with a new blood? How is it? How how many percent chance does it is it going to take that you're going to retain that new blood? Like everything you were born with, or your blood system or whatever is going to remain, will change to, so what I'm trying to say, change to
Mm-hmm.
that new blood that is being added into you or whatever. But what I
Mm-hmm.
know is people believe in miracle, okay? And
Miracle.
you can live long.
Miracle.
Not just miracle, yes, because sometimes I watch all this YouTube videos where people, like, there are some pastors, like, say stuff,
That
people
cured
go
that cured
into
that cured sickle cell anemia and their blood system changed. Their
telugu
genotype
telugu
changed.
telugu do no wait. It depends on your faith. You understand what
No,
I
no,
mean?
no, 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 no,
Telugu,
no.
no, let me talk. I
Okay,
watch
okay,
it on
okay.
YouTube. I watch it on YouTube. I don't know how real that stuff is. Maybe they just try to sell us stuff. You know what I'm trying to say, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
Yeah.
they just try to sell stuff out there. But what I know is, what I'm gonna say is, whatever you're born with, whatever type of blood or genotype you have as a child, I don't know if your blood can actually change. You understand? But what I know
Mm-hmm.
is you can take care of yourself. You can live a good life. You can behave or
Mm-hmm.
do what normal people are doing. If you take care of your medication, you drink your medication, you drink a lot of water, you take good care of yourself,
Mm-hmm.
you can live a normal life. Meaning, for instance, I told you when I was in Nigeria, right? They say people with
Yeah.
such illness, people with sickle cell, they cannot live past 21, right? I told you that.
25.
They can't live past, no, what's me, I am at 21, no, not be 25, 21. They said
Wow.
people with sickle cell, back when I was back then in Nigeria, they said they cannot live past 21. But now, when you look at people out there, they live more than, there are some people that are 65 years old. Some people are even
Wow.
more than, you understand? So what I'm trying to say is, if you know yourself and know, like, you can fight it with people with such illness, you're not gonna say because you have this thing that you wanna put yourself down and feel okay. People are looking at you like you have a form of
Okay, sir.
disability,
Mm-hmm.
that you have this thing, and then you not want to prove to them and say to them that, oh yeah, I'm weak, I can't do anything, I'm trouble, I'm problem to the society,
Mm-hmm.
like my family feels that I am a burden, like a burden
Mm-hmm.
to them. That's why I said, like, you surround yourself with people, support system. I don't know how it works in Nigeria, but here in the States, people have support system. People
Mm-hmm.
talk to, even if your family don't love you or they feel like you're a burden or whatever, Try to
Mm-hmm.
like mindsets. There's something called mindsets, right? Channel your
Mm-hmm.
mindsets. Tell yourself that if this thing did not kill me, I will kill this thing. You
Mm-hmm.
understand? This is an
Yeah.
advice I'm giving to people out there. Don't bring yourself down and say, yes, I have sickle cell. My own don't finish. Don't bring yourself down like that. Don't say, oh, I have this thing, my own don't finish, my life is done, I can never get
Yeah.
married, I can never finish school, I can never find a job, I can never do this, I can never do that, I'm a weakling, they know me as a weakling, I'm a weakling. Like, do not say that to yourself. You have to channel your mindset and say, listen, if this thing don't kill me, I will kill this thing. That's
Yeah.
the mindset. And then take your medication. Be happy. Do what you can do. Give yourself the push. Push yourself. Don't just say, okay, fine, I have this thing. I can't do this. I'm just gonna give up. No. At the same time, I know
Good
like
evening,
people back
everyone.
people
Good
back in
evening to you.
Nigeria. I know people back in Nigeria. That's why sometimes I'm like, damn, that country now what? People back in
Yeah,
Nigeria
so
with somebody that have something like that. I don't
Mm-hmm.
even know how they go about their medication.
I don't know. Me
How
too.
do
I
they
don't
use
know.
this medication? Like,
Is it made
if like,
available to them? Is it? These days are actually the things that people need to start talking about. There should be sickle cell and sickle cell anemia awareness being displayed in every hospital, in every schools. Their medications should be made available to them. Do you
sure,
understand? But I don't know. Like I can't really say, but I know that I've seen when Bobby the comedian, he was saying bringing this to the people and creating sickle cell anemia awareness and all that. I know that we have bunch of organizations that are doing this. I know. Yeah, we do have them, but my own is, are these things being played out to the society every day? How can people, because it's not only like going out there to talk about it, or broadcast it on the radio, on Instagram live and all that. What can be done? Which is, it's always very important that a child, before the child is 10 years, the child should know his genotype. It's very important, and you let the child know the danger of having, if the child is a AS patient, or the genotype of the child is AS. You let the child know the danger of the child getting married to someone that is AS too,
sure,
so that you let the child know that before you say someone says I love you, trying to find out their genotype.
sure. Because sometimes, right, men often blame the women.
No, no, that's
Understand?
for that's for those that's for those
Sometimes
that do
when
not know
men
their left from
often
right.
blame the women when the woman has that baby, pops out that baby, and that baby is always in the goes to the hospital. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm trying to say. Men often
Yeah.
blame the baby, but if you do the right thing from the beginning by you guys knowing your genotype, you guys
Mm-hmm.
will prevent a lot of stuff. You
For
understand?
sure.
You guys
Yeah.
will prevent a lot of stuff. Not when an AS lady marries an AS man and then they pop out a child with sickle cell and then you start blaming the lady, it's your fault.
No, no,
What
no,
kind of
no, no,
stupid
no.
fault is that?
You
What kind
know,
of fault is that?
I think it's only for me. I think it's a weakling that is gonna do that, because you don't have to blame the lady either. Because I'll blame the man, because the man failed to do his play. Should I say, man failed to discharge his duty as a man. Because if you know your duty as a man, you should know that it is your right to bring forth healthy kids into the world. You get? I don't know if I'm the only one that has this kind of thinking, man. Because I often, sometimes my parents will be like, Henry, it's time for you to get married. I'll be like, I am not getting any child into this world to suffer for no damn freaking reasons. And like, I'm not ready for it. If I know that I cannot give that child those things that he needs to grow, I don't see no reason why I should bring the child into the world. But sometimes they'll tell you, this people that did this, look at them, they grow. We all have grace. Everybody has what grace that he's endowed with. What worked for Mr. A cannot work for Mr. B. So let me just cut it long story short. We have our new caller. Good evening to you, sir, and nice having you today.
Are you guys talking to me?
Yes, I'm talking to you, sir.
Okay,
Philip.
hi, Giovanni. Can I what's on? I'm a from how's life?
Yes, I
How's
didn't.
everything?
We are fine. We are fine today, sir. How are you doing today? Hope you're good.
Well, everything is great. Everything is great.
Thank God. Okay, sir.
Well,
What we're talking about today is
honestly, so I was being taken unaware because I don't really know the topic. I saw
okay.
here importance
The
of
importance of
genotype before
genotype before
marriage.
marriage. Yeah, we are talking about. You cannot talk about sickle cell anemia without talking about this. Okay, it's from this. That's when you trying to know the type of genotype that we have and the best one for each other and how to avoid sickle cell anemia. But our main topic today is all about sickle cell anemia. But we cannot talk about sickle cell anemia without talking about genotype and importance of it and how you avoid it, like how you avoid sickle cell anemia. So we are hoping to have a medical doctor or a health practitioner very soon. So he's actually going to be one of our guest speaker. And if you please share the live, if you're here, share the live to a doctor that you can invite to come and educate people, because we are actually going to save the live video. It's very, very important. People do not care these days. They will tell you love conquers all. Some even tell you God will take control. Some will even tell you that when we get to the mountain, when we get to the bridge, you know how to cross it. Are you being serious? Yeah, I've had that. I've had that quite a number of times. Like it'll be like, when we get to the bridge, we'll cross it. Are you being serious? When you get to the bridge, is that what you're telling me? Get to the bridge as how?
You know what? Yeah. Sorry, guys. I know I've been totally off. I've just been caught up. It's been a busy day for me. Do you know what it is? Yeah. Realistically, I think the society in general, like let's say the government or whatever, they should actually prioritize having everybody know, making sure that everybody knows what their blood type is, what their genotype is. Sorry, because where you have the problem
Yeah,
is,
I think it should be made free, though. If you ask me, I think it should be made free. For me, I think it should be made
yeah,
free.
yeah, yeah. Number one, it should be made free. Yeah, that's definitely it should be made free. And secondly, it should be like they should prioritize it. For example, you see when babies are born, they make sure that all the babies get all the available vaccination that are needed for the babies and all those stuff. Do you know what I'm saying? I think that
Mm-hmm.
genotype is something that should be put in those category in terms of importance to someone's life. It should be something that should be in your file from young, so because there's a lot of people out there that don't know what their genotypes are. Do you know where I'm
A
coming
lot.
from? Like,
Yeah.
I didn't know mine until I was like 12, 13. I had no reason to. Do you know where I'm coming from? So obviously,
Mm-hmm.
what it is because you don't really use it a lot in life, but it's also an important aspect of someone's life, because if it was a thing that people know it and actually, have to give it in certain things, or I don't know, somehow use it every now and then, what your genotype is, a lot of people will be aware of this. Do you know what I'm saying? They would actually
Yeah.
understand it more. They would actually understand it more. But the fact that they don't actually do that, there's no sort of, when you're born, no one's even in the UK, for example, when you go to request for it, you got to pay £10 for it. Do you know what I'm saying? You've actually got to pay money to get it checked, and it's quite unfortunate because it's something that I think that because of the effect that it actually has on people, the fact that if two SS or AS or whatever were to mix together, that they could end up having an SS baby, which will now reduce the child's lifetime and everything. Because of that, I feel like it's something that they should look into more, in a sense where make it free to start with, make it that people actually get to know of it a lot more. That it's not something that you only find out if you're getting married. And by then, it's probably already late. Most people nowadays, before they even get married, they don't not finish. The girl is already halfway pregnant.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I say they don't that
It's
finish.
true. It's true.
You know what I'm
No.
saying?
It's true. It's true. Let's be serious. It's
You know,
true.
you know what I'm saying? So, and by the time they're even
The green,
going,
thank
by the
you.
time they're even going to, obviously
Oh my
some
God, I'm
churches,
dead. Okay, this guy's killing me.
they will
Oh,
say to you, before they can
mm,
wed you, they want to see your genotype, which is absolutely beautiful. Do you know what I'm saying? But
Mhm,
most people
mhm.
nowadays, before they even have wedding, even if they do have wedding, our traditional wedding, they don't request for no medical. Do you know what I'm saying? They don't request for no genotype. But
Mhm.
when you're doing church wedding, most churches will request for it. But my point is, by that time, it's even
They
late.
already have a child. They already have a
Yeah,
child.
they've mapped throughout the whole relationship. There's probably girl already pregnant. Do you know what I'm saying? They just want to wed quickly. And by then, I feel like if they knew, they might not have put themselves in such predicament in the first place. And not only that,
Yeah.
if it was something that is known to people, it would be part of getting to know when you're getting to know a girl in the beginning.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? No one really, unless you
True.
guys do, but no one really asks, hey, girl, what's your genotype, babe? No one asks that. Do you know what I'm saying? No one's really gonna go ask that. So in that sense, same as the girls, like because some people don't even know it. A lot of people that I know over here, they don't even know what genotype is. When I'm telling them like, hey, you need to go to get your genotype, before they're like, what's that? Do you know what I'm saying? And that's because it's not being speculated as much as it should.
no,
And
no, no,
and
no,
and
no,
they're
no, no. It's calculated.
huh?
Let me say something. I'll get back to that.
Mm-hmm.
Should I go?
No,
Should I go?
I don't think it's not. People, a lot of people do.
Should
I
I
could
go?
actually say a
Should I go
handful
on?
of people do not know about genotype.
Agunmarobi. No, no. Just hold on a bit. Let him finish. Good evening to you, Sir Agunmarobi Odogun. Odogun. Good evening to
All right,
you,
wait.
Agunmarobi. Agunmarobi is a boss, a friend, and a brother. He's somewhere in the UK, Odoguna, UK. Agunmarobi, what we are talking about today, okay, he's out already. So continue, please.
Okay, continue.
So, like I said, I don't actually think a lot of people know about it. Me being honest, a lot of people that I know, unless maybe I don't know where you
No,
are,
you're right. They don't
maybe
know
people
about it.
around there, huh?
They don't. I'll explain why.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. So it's not made public as well as it should be. I feel like it should be an important topic. Like if you go around the whole world, everyone knows about HIV, everyone knows about AIDS. Do you know where I'm coming from?
And
Like
hepatitis as
even
well.
yeah, do you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
and hepatitis B, yeah.
People know
B,
about this
C,
stuff, but
A, D, and what have you.
a lot of people know what sickle cell is, but they don't know what causes it.
True. That's true.
A lot of people know what sickle cell is, but they don't know the cause. Do you know what I'm saying? So, and I think like
Mm.
it should made publicly known so people would actually know. People know what COVID is. People know what. Do you know what I'm saying? All those
Mm-hmm.
things. I feel like genotype falls in such categories in terms of how important it is in someone's life. Like in schools, they should drill it into the kids. This is what you are. They should actually let them know. Do you know what I'm saying? I think that's the only way they can limit such. Do you know what I'm saying? So from the beginning of a relationship, before you start getting into but I love him, but I love her, before you even don't reach that level, you've already seen that it's not meant to work.
True.
So for
Ayodos,
me,
good evening to you. Greetings. No, go
Or should
ahead.
I
I'm
should
just
I
greeting
should I
someone.
add on? Should I add on a bit?
Yeah, greetings to you, Mayan. Yeah, go ahead, sir. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, because I
No, sorry,
wasn't I
a
was
minute. Sorry, 1 minute. Please, if you're here, what we're talking about today is the importance of genotype before marriage. So, not just importance of genotype, and another thing is how do you avoid getting yourself or getting a wife or getting a child into the world that has sickle cell. We all know that sickle cell is a red blood disease. So what we're talking about today is the importance of that genotype. How do you avoid those things like getting a child into the world to suffer from sickle cell? And we all know how those kids suffer. So, sir, good evening to you. Tell us your name. Tell us where you're calling us from. And please
no
point to note whatever you say here goes a very long way. So we are not here to make those who are sickle cell anemia patients to feel bad. We're not here to demoralize them, but rather we're kind of creating awareness to the public, for the public to know the importance of it, for the public to actually see them and value them. Sir,
Can I
go
also
ahead.
say something? Can I also say something before it comes in? I hear
Okay, go
things.
ahead.
I
Okay,
hear
go ahead, my
things
lady.
like people with sickle cell. That sickle cell came from mosquito,
Mosquito?
malaria, whatever. That was what I was hearing. I heard something
No.
about that.
Ain't no,
That is
ain't no medical
that
proof on that.
is that is a no. Another thing I'm trying to throw in here is with people with color. Sickle cell is common with people with color, meaning the black people. I don't think white people have such thing. It's more common with black people. So that's another thing I want to throw in here. You understand?
Okay. Okay.
It's not
You know
from.
what?
It did not come
That
from
could
no
actually be
mosquito.
true.
It did
That could
not come
actually
from
be
no
true.
mosquito, guys. It did not come from no
No,
mosquito. It's something
as
that
in,
you inherit. Something that was given you got from your parents. When your mom and your dad are
so sorry. I just need to confirm something. There's something you said there that I actually did not know about. What, white people don't have they don't have sickle cell.
it's common with blacks. That's what I
Are you
Say
hear.
it's
serious?
common.
It's
So
Say
common
no,
it's
with
but
common.
common or
it's
not
common with
common,
blacks.
what I mean
I
is,
don't know about I
well,
don't know about white
isn't
people having it,
isn't
but
the
it's
cause
way common with
like
blacks.
it could make sense. It could make sense. That's why it's not publicly made over here.
Google it. Google
Let
it.
me
Google
explain.
it.
Let me
Google
explain
it.
some
It's
certain
common. It's
things.
common with blacks.
Let me explain some certain things.
I didn't think he
Okay, go
race.
ahead.
First
Go
of
ahead,
all,
sir.
my name is Chooks. I've introduced myself last night before
Yeah.
going to
No.
bed because of my work.
Yeah. So sorry, sir. You
I
know,
work in
it's once a new life.
I'm a medical scientist. You understand? But I don't want to go
Thank you so
so
much.
deep. I don't want to go
Thank you so
so deep
much.
about my identity.
No,
You understand?
as long as you're a medical practitioner,
You
it's fine now.
understand?
That means this topic is actually for you tonight.
You understand? Well, what I understand with the word sickle cell, just like you guys have rightly mentioned, understand? It's a kind of a blood disease. It has
Okay.
something to do with the blood, you understand? I may not use
Yeah.
the right ways to explain myself because I studied in a different language in Swedish. You understand?
Okay.
Understand? White people have it this way. In the recent years, once they notice that a blood before a child is being born, you understand, it goes a series of examinations. And once they notice that this child is bound to go through this, and then see it before a child is being born, they have to treat it immediately. That is why this sickle cell system doesn't exist much in the Western world.
Okay.
The topic we have on ground is a genotype before marriage. It's a very important issue. Someone once mentioned here that the white people are not aware of it. Yes, he is right. Everything is being taken care of there before it goes out. They can't see it. Today, if you have, and I may be losing some kind of times on some kind of words. When they want to, like example, it's a similar thing in Nigeria. When I want to take a blood and transfer a blood transfusion to someone, there's some certain blood that doesn't go with others.
Yes.
Why?
Yes.
And once you insert a certain blood, it causes what they call blood coagulation. And what we
Calculation.
call
Yes.
coagulation
Your
is a
blood
situation
start
whereby the
clotting.
blood begins to clot, and that
Clothes.
clot leads
Yes.
to death.
It leads to that. Yeah. Blood
Automatically,
clotting.
it
Yeah.
leads to death.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Everyone is right with their own explanations. You understand? I don't want us to get confused about it, but in our society today, it's quite unfortunate that we are living in a system whereby no one cares. Nobody wants to help. Nobody wants to help. Most of our professionals are leaving the country. Most of our professionals are leaving the country. Most of them are in UK. Some are in London. Some are in US. Some are in Canada. Understand? I just pray that the country will get better, but the country is not going to get better. Some of us really wanted to invest in that country, now it's another topic. Let's forget about that. But it's not going to work. You understand? We're talking about the genotype. You understand? I was being taken on really unaware because you called me in. You understand? I was not really fully prepared for the conversation. But everything they said, I just picked out some points out of what they said. And once your body type does, the body type or the cell type doesn't match, it leads to that word, what you guys call the sickle cell. And what is sickle cell? Is the loss of blood. You don't have enough blood in the system.
Mm-hmm.
And you keep on going through. And some people say that a particular age you get before you get over it. Just like my sister said, and you say it's a no, it's a right. It doesn't come from mosquito. So you don't have anything to cause with that. It doesn't have. And do you know what? Someone may have AIDS. Mosquito may suck blood from someone that have AIDS and bring it to you, and it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
affect you. You have
And it
seen
doesn't
yourself.
affect you. Yours, yeah.
That is just people always get us confused.
True.
To be honest with you, the only person that can tell you the truth is just yourself. Sometimes people will say something, you begin like you when you sleep and you wake up, be like, why he can't take like this? Why he can't talk this kind of thing? I don't know. You get to realize when he just mocking himself or mocking you.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Yeah.
But we're all right in our own explanation.
So, sir,
Understand?
what we want from you tonight is to kind of elaborate or tell us more what causes sickle cell. Tell us how it forms. Since you're a medical practitioner or you're medical personnel, we are like what we need tonight is medical personnel. It's your topic, it's your thing, it's your line. I know a little bit of it.
Mm-hmm.
I am not a medical personnel, I'm not a medical practitioner either. Okay, I'm a pure student. I studied public administration in school, but
Okay.
it's just kind of a wider knowledge of me. Try to know things, and that was how I got to know a few things that when you say some things, I know what it means and all that.
I
So
don't want to go
please,
deep. I don't want to go deep about the
no, feel
topic.
free. No,
I don't
feel
want to
free,
go
sir.
deep.
It's very
Do
no,
you know what? Do you know one thing? Do you know why I say I don't want to go deep?
no, sir.
There's something I love. I love with medicine. You don't know. And you've
Okay.
mentioned one of the reasons, and which is imagine different blood group that doesn't coincide with each other. That's another reason that causes it.
Okay.
You understand? It can become genetically. You understand? Maybe a
Yeah.
family. You understand? I don't want to go so deep with what I don't know. I don't want to give. I don't want to feed you with any wrong information.
Okay. 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 Okay.
Sorry to say
Okay.
this.
Okay.
You
Good
understand? I
evening.
have to say what I know. What I think I know.
Okay. 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 Good evening to you. If you're just joining us for the very first time, it is our normal show every weekend. But these few days, we are trying to cover the days that we couldn't make it up to come up on live because of one or two things that have been, you all know our profession. Sometimes it can be hectic. Sometimes I can be a little bit free. So today, what we're talking about is the importance of the
Sometimes Nigeria
genotype.
doesn't give money for data.
What?
Like this, the way
Sometimes
even the data.
Nigeria
Okay,
don't
let me
give
just say
money on
this to you
time for
guys.
people to buy data.
Today's show is being today's show is being sponsored by my boss, King Bosse. He's one that sponsored the
Who's
show.
King?
The
Who's King
data,
Boss?
yeah,
Okay,
that's the one
oh
that of
yeah,
his
King
company.
Boss. The
Yeah,
guy in
he's one that
UK.
sponsored it. He's one that sponsored it. The data
Yeah,
that we are using, the data we are using, he
I'm
credited,
literally
he bought the data for us. So all thanks to him. All thanks to him. So
23 minutes. I can make it school.
Gracias.
it's still our little way of giving back to the society, because I just believe one thing now. It's not only when I go out there to pick up arms to say I'm a military personnel that I can give back to the society. I can actually give back to the society by educating people, letting them know. I never can tell who's watching this from anywhere in the world. I never can tell who's going to watch this even after the live video. It might go viral, it might still not. but my aim is to make sure that people understand the importance of genotype before marriage, to avoid sickle cell anemia, to avoid bringing in a child that will come to the world and suffer. And another thing is, I think these days people do not often seek to know um seek to know the health history of their partners or the health history of their families. I think it's very, very important. It's an old practice in the eastern region, though, that before someone, or you say I do to someone, you must have gone the person must have gone to series of vetting from both families. So the person must have gone through series of vetting from both families. Sometimes your family will go and ask questions. Do you know anything about this family? Do you know who they are? What do they do for a living? All those kind of questions without even you knowing. And to be sincere with you all, those things really works. I think we'll have a new caller this evening. His name is Dr. Justice. Good evening to you, Dr. Justice. Nice having you this evening.
Good evening, bro. Thank you for your service to the country.
Thank you so much, sir. I really appreciate.
I just joined now, and I can see that the topic of discussion is a genotype.
It's what we're talking about today is importance of genotype before marriage, and what causes sickle cell anemia, and how do you avoid it, and what is your advice to those who might be passing through this illness, and to those who are yet to get married, and those who has AS, or those who are already SS. So just I don't know if you're a medical practitioner or not. So if you are, it's like I think it's an added advantage to us tonight.
Yes. So for example, this is very important.
Okay. Sorry, please. Can you tell us your name? Sorry, please tell us your name. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Justice, Lagos, please. Lagos.
Okay. Nice having you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So, for example, this genotype issue is very important because, for example, intending couples, people who intend to get married. Before now, many people were not informed, right? They just go into it blindly. So it's important to know the genotype of your intending partner, right? So because, for example, in a country like Nigeria, where we don't earn much, our salary is not much, right? Imagine bringing a child that is sickle cell, right? That is a sickler, and then always visiting the hospital, spending the small money you have, you just be poor. You will just be poor as a result of that child, right?
You get broke. Yeah, you get broke.
You broke, right? So the advice is intending couples come to the hospital. They do genotype screening, right? So they will now know each other's genotype, right? So people already know their genotype. So it's always important to disclose to the person you are dating or you intend to marry your genotype, right? SS is not advised to marry SS. AS is not advised to marry SS. Even AS is not advised to marry AS. So for example, when they come for screening, they do genotype screening, especially before getting married. Then they know their compatibility. Then they are then counsel. You can then counsel as a doctor. You then counsel, right? So one of the counsel, for example, when two people are in love, and they are finding it difficult to leave each other. So, for example, now with the advances in technology and medicine, when a woman is pregnant, one of the options, when you are counseling a couple, one of the options is when a woman is pregnant in her first trimester, you can determine if the fetus is sickle cell. So once it's sickle cell, you abort it. The doctor will help you to abort the child, right? Because if, for example, an AS wants to marry an AS, let's say you have advised them, say, please, you people should leave each other, you understand? So that because AS and AS getting married, there is a 25% out of 100%. There is a 25% possibility of giving to a sickle cell, right? So when you give birth to 4 children, for example, there is a very high risk that one of the 4 will be sickle cell, while the others will be normal, right?
Yeah.
So to avoid that, you can say, okay, please, you guys should leave each other. But some people cannot leave each other, right? They cannot, because the love is very strong. So what you now do is, during the first trimester of pregnancy, the doctors can check the genotype of the child or the fetus in the woman's womb, right? Once it's SS, because you said out of 4 children, there's a high probability that one will be sickle cell. So you can give birth to 3 other children that will not be sickle cell, right? So once in the first trimester, when they check that and the child, the blood is sickle cell, they can do abortion. So they can abort the child. So that way they are preventing giving birth to a sickle cell child, right? So that's now one of the options, right? And
Okay.
so the first option is break up, right? And don't just get married. And once you see that your genotype will likely result in giving birth to a sickle cell child. But now that medicine is advancing, when she's pregnant during the first trimester, they can check the child. There are machines, there are devices to check if the child is sickle cell. If it's sickle cell, you abort. You see, it's very important, because when given to a sickle cell child, it's always crisis. Crisis. Is a very stressful life. Very stressful life.
Okay.
So, except there's enough money to do bone marrow transplant. So,
How do you do it?
For example, a child is sickle cell, especially abroad, and then or here, if the parents are millionaires, if they are rich, they can do bone marrow transplant. So bone marrow is the place in the body that produces our blood cell, right? So they can change it. They can transplant. They can change it, such that the bone marrow that will not be in place will be producing blood cells that are not sickle cells.
Okay.
So these are not the solution. But a poor person cannot afford it. An average
Wow.
person cannot afford it. So it's only rich people. It's only rich people that can afford that.
So
And most Nigerians are poor. So most Nigerians are poor.
I don't have it. It's practical. Yeah.
okay. Sorry, doctor. Hold on. Sir Kimbose, can you actually, sir, please, can you mute? Kimbose, please, can you help us mute your mic? Okay, the noise from his background has stopped. So, doctor, please, you can actually continue, please.
Yes. So, for example, a person is sickle cell, right? So, and the parents have money they can do bone marrow transplant. So, bone marrow transplant. So, because bone marrow is the place that produces our blood cells, right? So, that's the person that has sickle cell before. The bone marrow was producing blood cells that were sickle shape, that were not abnormal shape, right?
Abnormalship,
So
yeah.
now, if we change the bone marrow, if we transplant the bone marrow, now the new bone marrow will be producing the right cells, the normal cells, right? And
Okay.
because a sickle cell has an abnormal shape, so that abnormal shape cannot pass through blood vessels without dying. Cannot pass through difficult places in the body, like narrow places without dying. Right?
This is very shocking.
So
I tried
that's
to come in, it stopped.
Okay, sorry about that. So,
No
doctor,
problem.
we have a doctor here, so he's kind of explaining this. Please,
Everything he says is right.
Please do us a favor, share the live so that people can actually learn, because what he's educating us on tonight cannot be gotten with. I don't know how much someone is going to pay to get this. You have to pay hell lot of money for a doctor. In fact, for you to even go to the hospital, you know how much you're going to pay for you to get this tonight. So, but you're getting it for free. So please help us share the live for people to come and join and actually get to know learn more on this. It's very important. So please, doctor, can you continue, please?
So it's very important when a woman is pregnant, genotype screening. But even before then, even before you get pregnant, before you get married, it's important that both of you know your genotype and that you are compatible, right? So it's very, very important that both of you know that you are compatible. But what's come to us and they finally get married, it's not advisable. It's advisable they separate. But if they get married during the so for example, an AS, get married to an AS, right? So there's a 25% chance that they will give birth to a sickler, right? So that means the remaining 75% that they will give birth to normal children. So if an AS get married, if they risk it to get married because of love, then what can be done is during the first trimester in the hospital to be the fetus to be checked if the blood is sickled, right? Once it's sickled, you abort. Once it's sickled, you abort. So the next pregnancy might be normal. The fellow pregnancy might be normal, right? So you just check during the first trimester if the baby, the blood is sickled. If it's sickled, they abort. If it's normal, you leave the child. So that's now the people have developed for those that just went ahead to get married. Then after giving birth to the child, the child is not growing, and then the parents really have money, they can do bone marrow transplant, for example. But it's always advisable to marry somebody that are compatible with in terms of genotype. So it's advisable because the child will suffer, a lot of crises, suffer for almost the rest of the life. It's a terrible thing. Yes,
it's true.
Okay, and doctor, please, you made mention of transplant of bone marrow, right?
Yes.
As one of the best ways of curing sickle cell anemia disease, right?
Yes.
Like, does it cost a lot for someone to do it in Nigeria? And at the end of this transplant, does it changes the person's genotype?
Yes.
And when it changes the
okay, sorry, please finish up.
Okay.
Finish your question.
And when it changes the genotype, does it actually change does it affect the DNA of the child? So we want to know more of this.
DNA doesn't change. Your DNA still remains permanent. DNA doesn't change.
But the new but remember, there is a new stuff coming into your system, and what's that is being brought into your system has, like, it's a genetic stuff of someone else, right? Doctor, do you understand my question?
No. I think you got wrong. It wouldn't affect your DNA. It wouldn't affect your DNA.
DNA is a very complex something.
Doctor is rolling. Doctor, please, we don't want you to go, please. I don't know. Doctor is rolling. Okay, no problem. Okay, he's gonna come back. Please keep sharing. We want more doctors one more health practitioners in the house. So it's very important. So we are still here. What causes sickle cell anemia and how it can be handled at the early stage. So our doctor that joined us, he was saying that it can actually be handled by bone marrow transplant. He said a lot, and we hope he comes back. So over to you, King Bosse.
No, I was just gonna say I learned something new. Really, I've actually thought sickle cell has always been a death sentence kind of disease, but with the bone marrow transplant, that actually it's obviously a second chance. And I actually just wanted to find out from him how much it would cost to do such surgery and such thing in Nigeria.
He's back.
He's back. Nigeria.
He's back. Yeah. I believe he's in Nigeria though. He's in Nigeria. He's back.
And also, is it guaranteed that once it's done, that the sickle cell is actually out of the person's system?
So I'm sorry, my internet was interrupted.
Okay, sorry about
that. Doctor, you're doing good. Continue.
So, for example, when it comes to bone marrow transplant, it's an expensive one, and the two. So it's also called stem cell transplant. Stem cell. So stem cell. A stem cell can be taken from the person, right, and used for the transplant, or from a donor, right? So a stem cell can be taken from the person or from a donor. So what's a stem cell? A stem cell is a cell that has the ability to divide into to become any cell, right? To become any cell is called pluripotent. Plural.
Pluripotent.
Yeah, it has the ability to become anything. So they can take a stem cell from the person and use it for the bone marrow transplant, or take it from a donor. So once that is done, so that person's former bone marrow that was producing the wrong blood cells, the sickled blood cells, with them be replaced by the stem cell, right? So when that happens, it start producing the normal blood cells, right? So So these procedures have been done, especially abroad, and then even somebody that had HIV and sickle cell. So they did. This was the case. They did a bone marrow transplant for someone that was a sickle cell person. They didn't know the person had HIV. So when they did bone marrow transplant for the person because of sickle cell, the person was also cured of HIV. Right?
Wow.
So it was in the UK. It was
because
reported.
it's not on the stage of AIDS.
Okay.
No.
The first stage,
That's why he
is
said
very
HIV.
curable.
He said
It's curable.
HIV. He said HIV.
And it has just happened once. It has just happened once. I don't know. Like,
Sorry,
it has not. Nobody has
was
repeated
that for sickle
it.
cell or was that for leukemia?
It was for leukemia, right?
Yeah, I thought it was for leukemia, not sickle cell.
Okay. There was a UK case like that. So
Yeah, I've heard
the
about
person
it.
was also was also cured of HIV. And HIV was not the primary purpose of the transplant. So, but it has not happened again. No, that was just a single case.
Doctor,
So,
don't forget about blood transfusion too. Another prevention.
Yes. So for sickle cell, right? For sickle cell.
Yeah,
So
exactly. Yeah.
The best thing is to advise intended compost to separate if their genotype is not matching, right? If there is danger, right? Secondly, during the first trimester, they can
breaking love, cause of sickness. God.
So during the first trimester,
God
they
help
can
us.
determine if the fetus, the child is sickle cell, and then do an abortion. They will terminate it. The doctors can do. They can detect that, oh, this child has a sickle cell blood cells, right? We are going to do an abortion. Yes. So that is one of the ways to.
So, okay, and doctor, there's a question somebody was asking. He said, can this bone marrow transplant be carried out in Nigeria? And like, if someone is about to do it, like, how much should the person be thinking of if it can be done in Nigeria?
It can be done in Nigeria. Is in millions, of course. Is in the millions.
Is it up to 5, 10, 15 million?
It will be up to 5 and above.
5 and above.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's not for a poor person. It's not for an average.
That's a blood marrow.
What?
What did you say?
Sorry, how much did you say it costs for the thing, roughly?
No, I don't know the exact cost. It will depend, but it run into millions of naira, right? To run into millions of naira.
Would you be able to estimate?
Well, what did you say?
Okay, would you be able to estimate what sort of millions we're looking?
Yeah, you'll be looking at 5. You're looking at 5 and above because you're looking at 5 and above in Nigeria. So
and
in addition to this, to what you said, this stem cell transplant, it's not everyone. It may come from a relative, a donor, a perfect donor. You can't just use anybody's blood to make such kind of treatment, transplanting.
100%.
No. There's something he said. Is it what do you call that cell? He said
stem cell.
No. The dual something that can actually work. That can actually transform itself and work as the second part. He said something about it.
That's a stem cell.
Dual cell.
Okay.
That's a stem cell. A stem cell.
Stem cell.
Stem cell.
Is pluripotent.
Okay, pluripotent. Okay.
Yeah.
The stem cell. Okay.
Plural. Yeah.
Okay, pluripotent.
It can become anything.
Not a dual
It can
cell.
become anything you want it to become.
So can that actually be gotten from the person?
Yes.
Okay. The person does not have to wait to go to start looking for donor, right?
So yeah, it's possible. It can be gotten from a person. It's possible it cannot be gotten from a person. In
most cases, it must be gotten not from the same person. It must be another person.
Yeah, yes. So
it must be from the same person.
So it's 2 types. So from the person or from a donor.
Okay, and the donor can come from the family, right?
Yes. Of course.
Exactly.
That will be similar.
Wow, this is, in fact, I've really learned a lot, and in fact, after this, I think, oh my God, I really wish I have the resources at my own disposal. I would want to have, even if it's the last thing I do before before my last day on earth, just to make sure that one sickle cell anemia patient is cured. I wish I had the resources in my disposal, but
Absolutely.
I will keep doing it. Doctor, thank you so much, and please,
Thank
Bros,
you.
excuse me. Let me say something. Let me say something. It's not really doctor or whatsoever. The problem there is that you and I can make a change in that country. We shouldn't be talking about people in abroad. You understand? The government is so bad. They have to
I
work. So
wouldn't,
they have to build the system. Once the
sir,
system is built,
sorry, sir. I cannot actually go into that because I am still in the service. It's not
no, it's not.
allowed. I'm
No,
only
no.
doing this. I cannot criticize the government. I cannot
No,
even
no,
make a comment.
don't do that. Don't ever. I understand. But
Uh-huh.
with due respect, I don't want to jeopardize your services. You
Yeah,
understand?
I hope you are
yeah.
safe. I hope you are safe,
Yeah,
boss. I hope you are safe.
No,
yeah,
he's safe. He's
no,
100% safe.
I'm fine.
Nothing
I'm
is going to happen
100%
to him by
safe.
the grace of God.
But what we're talking about today is exactly just how to, add values to people, because I just believe in one thing: giving back to the society. It's not always enough when I have the money, the cash to go out there and help the poor, or giving back to my country is not only when I go out there to become a military personnel or a police force, serving in one of the arms, or one of the arms of service in Nigeria. But I can actually give back to the society by doing what I'm doing right now, because I know a lot
Absolutely.
of people who are watching it, those who are going to watch it when at the end of the live video, those who are going to watch it might actually find it interesting. Okay. And I don't know where it's going to. I don't know who might watch it. Okay. I do not have control over who is going to watch it or who is not going to watch it, as long as it's in public. So as long as someone pumps up on Instagram and you go to my page, or it pumps up on your page, you see it, you watch it, and you listen and you learn. So that's it. And please, if you have more questions on this, you can actually ask our friend and our brother, Doctor. In fact, Doctor, please, I would love to. In fact, I'm following you after this, because it really, in fact, I've really learned a lot this night. So guys, what we're talking about today is what causes of sickle cell anemia, how it can be handled at the early stage, and even if it was not handled at the early stage, when the child is about few days old or few weeks old, before to a certain stage and all that, and how it can be handled. We have learned a lot from the doctor before he left. He was saying that there could be a bone marrow transplant, and he equally said that the child can actually be that abortion can be carried out at the early stage before the child is born. So that is when you go for a test, and it is confirmed that the child is a sickle cell anemia carrier. So the child can actually be terminated. That is, if you must insist that you must get married to your friend or to your soulmate who is AS and you are AS, or who is SS and you are AS. So it's very, 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 very important that we should learn about this. And in fact, people don't even talk about this anywhere. They don't even think about it. So all they do is that she's my babe. Just 2 seconds or 2 minutes or 3 days or 1 month, she say belle don't enter. You start calling her my wife. Some people do not even go to meet the parents. Some people will even be like, let me give her belle, she's my baby mama. You get? So some people can even be like, she's my baby mama, I'm doing this, she's my baby mama, and all that. So it's very, 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 very important tonight. Share the live video, keep sharing it. We would want to learn more, and we hope the doctor comes back anytime soon. So over to you. If you're here and you are interested, or you want to say something, or you're a medical practitioner, it will be an avenue for you to teach Nigerians, teach your people, give back to the society. Do not wait for them to come and consult you before you actually educate them. So give out to the public when you have to. It's actually, for me, this is just my little way of giving back to the society. It's very, very, very important. So Sakim Bosse, we are you here? Do you want to air your views on anything before the doctor comes back?
No, not at the moment. I haven't actually got much to say. I say, man, I put something for Bella before us. I go kill person.
Hey, I beg you, need that more.
I believe us alone. I beg.
Okay. I think Amalicha said. Okay, Amalicha said. Interesting topic with thumbs up. I don't learn too much. Okay, that's smart. Thank you, Amalicha. And she also said, I feel it's best to do test with your partner before
I
getting
beg
married.
go.
Yeah.
I beg go. Make una try. In case of anything, drink more water. Always drink more
Yeah.
water. It helps a lot. You understand? And if
Yeah,
you
my
get
mom says
any
that.
take vaccination and antibiotic, it helps as well. You understand? In cause and
Yeah.
at cause of because at cause of prevent any infection or anything like that. You understand? Because once you have sickle cell, your red blood cell is very, very low. Any sickness, any symptom, any infection can get into you so easily. You have to
Okay.
work on a preventive measure. You have to take your preventive measure so seriously. You understand?
Okay. Okay. Sir, there is something I would want to ask. If you're saying that they should antibiotics, like you said, right? They should always take the antibiotics, right?
Now,
For infections and all that. But what about someone not, there are some infections that can be malignant. Okay, when you
malignant
take
in what
those,
way? What do you mean by the word malignant?
like for instance, there are some infections that when you take more of the antibiotics and it becomes part of them, that infection may not go on time when it's supposed to. You understand? Like the infection start developing a resistance
It becomes resistant.
immune.
It becomes resistant to the
Yeah,
antibiotic.
thank you. Yes. So it becomes resistant to the antibiotics. You understand?
Well, in such cases,
Oh, please, please, doctor or sir, please. I am not
no,
a
I'm not a
medical. I'm not
doctor.
a medical.
I'm not a
Okay, I'm not.
doctor. Please don't implicate me. I'm not a doctor.
Okay, so okay, sorry,
The,
sir. I
the
am
doctor
not
just
a health.
left.
I am not a health practitioner. I'm only saying out of what I've read so much. Because in fact, one thing I believe in is like I believe in learning every blessed day of my life. So I learn. It does not mean it has to be my field. It does not mean that it has to be my field for me to learn. I learn because I want to help. I learn because I don't know who might need that thing that I've learned. I don't know. So it can go as long my own is as long as someone is safe. As long as the person is safe, I'm good. My sister, Doctor my sister William says this one passed me. Oh. Okay, what we are talking about today is what causes sickle cell anemia and how it can be handled at the early stage. And somebody
Really?
said I don't believe in abortion. Sister, are you trying to tell me that if your child or if you know maybe you made such a mistake, are you trying to tell me that you do not believe in abortion, that you're bringing in that child into this world to suffer? Is that what you're telling me? Let's not confuse ourselves with let's not take religion too much to the extent that we bring in a child into this world to suffer for no reason when you actually know that there's something that could be done at the early stage. Do you have that money that, like what the doctor was saying, that you need up to 5 million naira in Nigeria for that bone marrow transplant, right? 5 million and above. That was what he said. So how many people keep get that 5 million naira and above? So why bringing in the child to suffer for no good reason?
Well,
You
it's
get?
not easy. It's not easy. It's
So
not easy.
so please, sis, I am not trying to antagonize what you said. I'm only saying it in a part where I feel it's very important. Like I cannot decide for you. You have a reason why you said abortion. No, abortion is not like you don't believe in it. But tell me, do you believe that the child is good for the child to come into the world and suffer? Yeah, from my sister William, she said it is a genetic error. Yeah. So
Mm.
please share the life. I don't know the doctor. He left and he never came back. So share the life. If you know a medical practitioner,
Involve him.
So please, if you know a medical practitioner that you know that can actually educate people tonight, send this request to him so that he can join us and educate. Okay, it's very, 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 very important. My dear, in fact, I know I'm in the army. It's a common sense, like you said, yeah, but not everybody has that common sense. The sense is common to you because you already know it, but to so many people it doesn't. Thank you so much, sis. From if my former said, Madam, no one believes in abortion. Please do the right thing before saying I do. Thanks, and that's smart. From Cindy Williams, she said, okay, condition that if okay, the condition that affects the condition that affects hemoglobin. A person with sickle cell better. Oh, okay, a person with sickle cell
Does she know what is
thalassemia
what is the
inherits a trait for both.
does she know what is the
Sorry,
hemoglobin? Hemoglobin.
I don't know. She. I think she's here. She's hearing you. I'm just trying to read out what
Hemoglobin
she wrote.
it helps in building the red blood cell. You understand? It's
Okay,
in the heart region, or rather the lung. I'll say the heart, the lung. It helps
that's smart.
the
Okay, she says she will be back. We hope to have you here soon. Please, if you know a medical practitioner that you can actually forward his life to, that he can join us, please do. It's very, very, very important that the person comes up and educates his people. It's very, very important,
so she
though.
want to explain. I will explain more. Bring her in.
Okay.
Let her explain more, please.
Okay, she says she will be back. I'll be back. I'll
And I
explain
said,
more.
okay,
She says
okay.
she'll be back and she will explain more. Yeah. So please share the life. It's very, very important that we actually get to know this
Jeez.
and create a sickle cell anemia aware- awareness. In fact, it is your right as a man or as a woman to bring in a healthy child into this world. It is your right to bring in a healthy child into this world. Do not, I repeat, do not bring a sickle into this world for no reason. But please, point to note, I am not criticizing those who were born with this condition. Okay, I am not saying that you're a mistake that you were born, but we are only looking for ways at which we can actually handle this so that it does not become, a national phenomenon like what a nation should be known for. You get? And on the other way around, and also how to help you, at least like, on a serious note, I wish I have the resources on my disposal tonight. I'm going to
She's
promise
back.
someone
Call
that,
her back. She's back.
okay, sickle cell disease is a group of inherited blood cell disorder where blood cell contain hemoglobin, a
That
protein
cause
that carries
oxygen.
oxygen.
She's
Yeah, that's
it's
smart.
true. It's true. It carry oxygen,
Okay.
and once it been is been once it is diffused, it causes what we call red blood cell, and if it doesn't diffuse, it come out as carbon dioxide.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Wow, really learning a lot tonight. So if you're here and okay, that's smart. That's smart. If you're here and you're a medical personnel, please, or a medical practitioner, please do us a favor and come up and educate us. We are waiting. Yeah, it is. That's exactly what you said before, sis. So before this, I see that this one had small. So maybe we'll still go back to the one that we're talking about, importance of genotype before marriage. So if you're here, tell us the importance of genotype before marriage. Mm-hmm. think my sister Cindy will be like she will be willing to say something on this.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm bringing her up already. Okay, she said she's just a fashionista and she listens to us. Okay.
You can contribute. There's no problem.
No,
It
no, no,
doesn't really
no, no,
matter. People
no.
have.
It's
Let me
okay.
tell
Go
you
ahead,
something
sir.
that you don't know. Let me tell you something that you don't know. You know, in life, sometimes you feel a doctor doesn't know much more about a patient than a person.
100%.
You understand? Maybe she has someone that knows something about that. Maybe she has a better, a more information.
Uh-oh. Henry, I want to be on the comment section.
Or say something, please. Your assist, assist.
She says she wants to remain in the comment section. So we are still here. Good evening to you. Please switch on your
Hi, good
camera. It's
evening,
very
brother.
good evening to you. Please switch on your camera, please. Sorry.
It's fine.
Okay, so sir, tell us your name, tell us where you're calling us from, and which one do you want to go in with? Are you going for what causes sickle cell anemia and how it can be handled, or you're going for importance of genetic genotype before
Genotype.
marriage?
Yeah, I would go
So
for the
which one?
importance of gender. My name is James. I'm calling from Qatar.
Okay, nice having you, Sir James.
You're welcome. Can I go off the
So
camera, please?
no. I'm with you, man. Let me show you. Sorry, I'm in
No,
line
no,
of
I
duty.
know.
Do you see my weapon?
I know.
I'm
Mm.
in
I
line
do
of
follow your life. It's fine.
Okay, I'm in line of duty and I'm still doing this. So please just
Yeah,
manage and
it's
just be in the camera.
okay. It's okay. Yeah, I would go with the genotype one because actually I wanted to join earlier, but the lady that was
Mm-hmm.
giving that was talking, she took a long time. That's why I was
Okay.
unable to like join. So I think
Okay.
the genotype thing, we just have to be very, very careful about it because it actually goes a long way. We like, let's say for we that are like AA or whatever one, we are lucky because
It is
our
one.
parents
Oh,
did do this medical thing, and we won't say because of the ignorance of our parents, we want to fall into the same thing. So I think it's very paramount for us to like take caution when it comes to genotype. we don't want to we don't want to give birth to a child to this world that is coming to suffer. So I think the genotype thing, we just have to take it very, very important. If you know as a lady you're an AS, I would advise you to go for an AA man. Don't say
Mm-hmm.
because of love you are blindfolded with love and you are putting your unborn child in risk.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the long run, you will be the one to suffer it. It won't be your parent again. It won't be. It won't even be the child. The child is just innocent, but
Yeah.
all the causes comes from the parent due to their negligence.
No, but the child will suffer it. The child will definitely suffer it.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you. The child will suffer it, but then like the child is innocent. He or she grows to know it. So
Go
and
ahead, we're
I
listening to
think
you.
that's also a prior thing to take notes when it comes to this question of sickle cell anemia, because all the reasons why you should go for it.
No, definitely.
sure.
Okay, that's
No be
smart.
like. Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, somebody said from the comment section, ASSS, your M is AA. Go for someone that has AA as a genotype. It's very, 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 very important. And someone also says that this SS or sickle cell anemia disease is common with the black people because the white people are with the black nations or the black people or the black community either. or the black community either. So she said that these things are common with the black community, and it is advisable that we have to make this thing a known, like, in fact, we need to, the way we teach our kids about HIV and hepatitis B too, we should
The
actually
doctor,
teach our own
the
kids about
doctor,
this.
the doctor that just left has explained all this. You know, my biggest gratitude in this country, Europe, is something that sometimes when I say that, I begin to like, man, why is this country, Europe, so not all European countries, but some few European countries, you know, I love the way they do things. Sweden is a country that respects any child. Sweden is a country that doesn't want to lose a kid. Sweden will go any extra mile to make sure that they save any child, an unborn child. You understand? The reason for saying this is because of what the doctor once said. You understand? Once they notice that you have this, we don't commit abortion is an option. You have your right. A woman cannot abort a baby without the father's consent. You understand? Both
Mm-hmm.
parties must agree. But woman has a bigger power to make a choice. A man cannot say I don't want the baby. Once a woman said I want it, fine and go. She's good. It's good. She's good to go. But once a woman and the man is okay, no problem. Before they sign it, they abort it. And in such kind of situation, once they that it's going to lead to such kind of pains. You understand? They have no
Mm-hmm.
option than to just let it be. Understand? All they need to do is just to make sure that that they cure it. You understand?
Yeah,
Before,
there is a write-up that is here. There is a write-up that is here from NDBC. NDBC said in 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s there was no genotype checking awareness and sickle cell awareness in that era. So don't blame our parents that gave birth to us in that era. Okay, we are not blaming any parents for doing it.
no.
Rather,
I love our parents those days, man. To be honest with you, they have the best life. They have the best life, and I can put it till the day I'm going to leave this world. We're not going to stand before them because their wives are more faithful, their men are more faithful. We are not faithful. We're not in the same position with them.
with them,
You
yeah.
understand? Mm. They
So
try their
and from
best.
Yeah, they try their best in their days.
It's not
So
easy.
from
It's not easy.
Informer said, I don't have, okay, white guys don't have such sickle cell disease isn't okay, it's not caused by malaria. From Cindy, we need to create awareness of sickle cell. That is very, very important. I think it's one of the things that we need to do before the year runs out. We'll see to it. And Informer say ignorant people say it's from
They
malaria.
have it. They
Health
have it. They
freaky.
have it. They have it. They have it. You know what they do? They don't
No.
allow it come into the system. Today, if by in our own
Uh,
statistics, we are fighting tuberculosis. The rate of tuberculosis in Sweden has really died. We don't have any tuberculosis in this country. Any tuberculosis that comes to this
Wow.
country, we try to kill it. We have vaccine. Hepatitis, we have vaccine. We are giving everybody vaccine. We make sure that everybody survives. We are
Is
trying in as
vaccinated.
much as we can to make sure that today people are taking like the COVID vaccine injection or whatsoever. Right now
Yeah.
we are on our third or the fourth booster. You
After I
understand?
think Pfizer, after taking Pfizer, is there still any other one someone need to take? Good evening,
It's
Sir
a choice. We
Chimasco.
have Pfizer,
um,
we have Moderna, we have
let me
other
just go out so
right
that
now.
Mr. NDBC
Right
can
now,
come in because I
it's a
think people
choice.
are
Okay,
like,
It's
okay,
a
no problem.
choice.
Thank you so
yeah,
much.
you're welcome, brother.
It's a choice. You understand? You have to
Yeah,
choose which one you want to take.
yeah. I think my godfather is here, Chief. Everybody, please help me. Thank him. He's actually, in fact, he's been so.
Odebuchi and they will.
Sir Chimako is a boss, a father, and
It's
a
a boss.
friend. Like he's
It's a
a very, very
boss.
good man. He has really, in fact, I don't even know how to describe him, but I always say
Oh,
thanks to him for everything he's been doing for us.
We remain loyal to him. We no go like make him fall. Enrique no go fall.
Like you know
He's
go
a
ever fall.
boss.
You know go ever fall.
He's a boss.
So from NDBC said parents giving birth to more of us or more in this era should be arrested and persecuted. That is
No, no,
smart.
no, 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 no. They shouldn't. They shouldn't. Okay, in this era. Okay, in
Yes, in
this
this
era.
era. He
But
said parents.
He's right. He's right.
there's a question here. There's something that I actually just wanna I want you guys to help me confirm on. You see
Okay,
the
what
whole
is it,
thing
sir?
about white person sickle cell being more common on the black race. I just need to
Yeah.
understand something. There was something that my brother here, the scientist, that said earlier. He said it's because sometimes they discover it while the baby's in the womb, and they treat it
Mm-hmm.
while the baby's in the womb. And
Mm-hmm.
obviously, the fact that they are more medically, would I say, the fact that they've got more ways of treating it. So I actually just want to ask: is it that it's not in their I don't know, body type, blood type or genotype, or is it that they're just more medically advanced than we are? That's why it's more common to the blacks. Because there's two different things. Is it
Yes.
that
Yeah,
they are?
that
You
you
know what I'm
said it
saying?
all. You said it all. You said it all. Yeah, that's why. That's
So
why.
it's
Because they
just
are
because
more medically advanced than
that's all
we.
it is. So that's
That's
why
how
they're
that.
able to control it, and we are not. Basically, that's actually bad. That's evil.
Not really, not really evil. We're talking about evil now. We are implicating Harry.
No, what I'm saying that's evil is the fact that what I'm saying is
No,
evil is the
you
fact that we
understand
are
me, right?
actually watching.
When I say
No, no, no.
it's
You know
evil,
what?
we're implicating Harry.
I know,
Yes,
but
so I beg
it's
you.
not just Henry on his own. It's Henry obviously is in Nigeria. I'm talking as in black people as a whole. Do you know what I'm
But it's
saying?
not here. We
Not.
don't have such in here in Sweden. We don't have such. Even where you are in UK, we don't. Do you have any sickle cell anemia in UK? Such?
Not that I know of. Not that. That's why I remember I said it
Yeah.
earlier that I haven't actually. Like a lot of people over here don't even know anything about genotype.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Do you got-
It doesn't happen that way there.
Yeah, they don't know nothing about it. Even when I went to my GP to get to get my genotype, he's asking me why. I'm like, because I need to know. He's like, why do you want to know? I'm like, it's mine. It's to do with my. Do you know what I'm saying? I want to know. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Do I need permission to know about myself? And yeah, I had to pay for it. Do you know what I'm saying? To go and get it done.
Mhm.
And they're saying that it's not covered by the NHS. And it's quite. I thought for something like this,
Mm.
but obviously it makes sense, doesn't it? The fact
Florence
that they.
Nightingale. That brings me back to Florence Nightingale. I remember we had a crush
Somebody
on
said they
her.
do. Somebody said they do. Somebody said they do have it. Somebody says they do have it. That's Cindy. Cindy said they do have it.
So yeah,
Yeah.
but they're
The thing is,
medically.
it's gonna be a foreigner. It shouldn't be a
No,
real
maybe,
British
maybe,
or
maybe,
Britain,
maybe.
whatever.
No, no. Because the question that I asked, they do have it, but they
Or
basically
British, yeah.
treat it
It's
before.
gonna be
They're
British.
medically.
It's gonna be British.
They treat it before it gets to that, I guess. Then yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, some informer said we have awareness here in New York and society group where they come together and discuss. Okay, you see, that's exactly what I'm talking about. This is exactly what we need down here in Nigeria. I think if we have any NGO going out there that has the support, that has everything, that has the finance, they should make this thing a national stuff. They should have more doctors talking about this in the radios, in the televisions. It should be a national, in fact, it should be a slogan, it should be a jingle being played out there in the society. It should be everyday jingle. It should be like we have political jingles, but now there should be a jingle for sickle cell anemia. I think like can you imagine the pain this child will be going through? Have you ever thought of it? Have you seen someone that is suffering from this? I'm not just
It's quite
saying, I don't know,
painful.
man. I don't know, but it should be a jingle. It should be a song. It should be a national anthem for now. People need, it's not just for now. until it is eradicated, until the rate at which it happens has reduced drastically.
It could only be eradicated when government begins to pour in money resources to it.
Let's
Because
no
if
sir,
because
sir,
we
let me
have
let me let me say this.
a lot of challenges in
Sir,
Nigeria, which
let me say
we
this.
don't want. Okay.
Let me say this to you. Most times we are quick to draw in the government. Okay, I know that they all have a role to play. Yeah, I know that they all have a role to play. That's good. That's true. But is it the government that is going to let you know? Like there are things that we can actually do in our own.
Implementations. How is it going to be implemented?
Like, see, I believe that Nigerian government are doing a lot of things about it. I don't know. I cannot say what I do not know. Okay, but what I'm saying is,
I'm
we
talking
need
about
to, we
implementations.
need to, we need
How
to.
is it going to be implemented? Yeah,
I
it
don't
does
listen. I'm
exist.
not. Hold on. I'm not
I'm
the
listening,
health
sir.
minister. I'm not a health minister. I'm not in the medical line, but I'm just saying out of what I saw. Okay, I brought out this topic because of what I saw. I saw like ever since I was born, I've never seen a sickle cell anemia patient, but I saw it about 3 weeks ago. Not just one, not two, three, and they are all freaking graduates, and I know the pains they are passing through. Do you understand? So, there should be awareness about this. There should be awareness. In fact, for me, I think it should be made a jingle. It should be made a national anthem. We have civil society groups. Do you understand? We have civil society groups. We have NGOs. Please, we need to. I don't know, man. If anybody has any connections that can actually make any NGO in Nigeria make this an anthem for a month. So people,
NGO can't work with that money. They need fund and they need support. They need security. The way Nigeria is today, NGO cannot just sit in a place and say, I'm an NGO. You have to move. You have to be mobile. You have to work from state to state.
see,
And what
let
state
me say this to you. Let me say this to you. Actually, in Nigeria, no matter the remote community you might ever think of, I think they have radios. Okay, and they listen to news, and they are even more current than those who are in the city. Okay, and they are even more current than those who are in the city. So they should be, like, when I mean it should be made jingles, it can take place in different, like, national radios. It's not going to cost much. It can take place in the NTA. It's not going to cost much. It can take place in anywhere. It's not going to really cost much. Good evening to you, Ogandu BC. How are you doing today? And how's your health?
I'm fine, thank God. Yeah, in
Okay,
terms
bro.
of our, it's very poor. In
Okay,
terms
in
of
terms of the awareness.
very poor,
Okay.
because even in terms of support from the government, it's still very poor. How many governors knows the sickle cell awareness every month? As in, what sickle cell day? What sickle cell day? So June 19th.
June 19.
The national sickle cell awareness day in Nigeria is September 1st.
Every September 1st. That's smart.
People hardly talk about, even doctors nowadays, they barely talk about this. They barely educate people about sickle cell disease. They rarely talk about it. There are some of them. Let me say, in terms of management of sickle cell disease in Nigeria, it's still very, very, very poor. Very poor. We're not getting support from the government or anything. Even the NGO in Nigeria, Sickle Cell Foundation in Nigeria, the NGO we have, they can barely function. They can hardly reach out to every one of us in Nigeria here. Even during the time when we say, okay, let's come out for Sickle Cell Awareness Day, we will invite governors, we invite political associates for them to get involved in something like this, but they will decline.
Why do I always get pushed out once someone logged in?
They hardly show interest.
Maybe somebody.
No, he's saying something, sir, please.
Continue,
Go
sir.
ahead. Sandubisi, go ahead, please.
Continue.
In terms of sickle cell disease awareness, the government had hardly show concern about us. So it has been a very difficult problem that we have been going through in Nigeria, especially in Africa here. In Africa, in fact, Africa as a whole, the awareness of sickle cell disease is still very, very poor. We barely talk about it. And even till now, parents are still giving birth to sickle cell patients. Up till this, I know, and I see them every day. They are still giving birth to sickle cell patients every day. Because the awareness is not coming. There's no awareness. Nobody is teaching them what to do and what not to do, what to avoid and what not to avoid. You know? So in the hospitals nowadays, they barely talk about it. They rarely talk about it. It's not something. It's something that runs deep. It has eaten deep into the society, but people
And
hardly show
nobody's
interest.
talking about it.
Nobody's talking about it. You know, that's just ignorance about it. Let me say ignorance, not just being illiterate, but it's an ignorance. Some say they serve God that even if they are ASAS, that they serve a living God that when they give birth, the child will, by God, the child will be free from it.
Which God is going to transform your gene, your genetic stuff? Which God is going to transport you? I don't. Anyway, I don't believe in those things, man. And nobody that is going to ever fool me into getting myself into it. Nobody, man.
Only few governors in Nigeria show interest about sickle cell. The governor of Delta State, the governor of Imo State, and the governor of I think River State.
Yes, and Wiki.
Yeah. These are the old governors.
This one now or the one before?
These are people that show interest concerning sickle cell disease. But other state governors, they don't show interest at all. On the day of World Sickle Cell Day, they usually in those states that I mentioned, they usually support them financially and with all the medications and treatment that they need during that period. So why other states rarely do something like that? No interest. They don't show interest at all. That's just it.
Okay, Ndubisi, can I ask you a few questions, please? Let me first of all attend to the comment section. Somebody said, Ndubisi, how do you sustain with your medications? And that's when that's the personal question to you. I'll still get to you. I don't know. I've not really had you in my live video before, but this is actually the first time I just want to ask you a few questions, please.
All right.
Okay, so Ndubisi, are you a member of any sickle cell organization? Are you a member? Are you a member of any organization or like any NGO group that is in charge of sickle cell in Nigeria or something like that?
No, I'm not. The ones that are on now are just personal foundations that some of us actually create by ourselves. The sickle cell foundation by some of our fellow sufferers. So I'm not in any sickle cell NGO.
Wait. Sorry, please. Are you a sickle cell patient?
Yes, I am.
Lord of Jesus.
It was actually consequence of sickle cell that actually made me to lose my arm and this as well. So that's just it. In Nigeria, managing sickle cell disease is really very difficult, especially when you come from a poor home.
Oh my God. Okay, so I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, man. I'm just please pardon me if we have said anything here so far to wrong you.
No, we've not
just
said
know that
wrong to wrong anyone. We are just talking.
No.
We have just a general conversation. Just find a way to